Now, Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto has arrived in India, marking his first state visit to the country. He will be attending India's 76th Republic Day celebrations as a chief guest. He is the fourth Indonesian president to receive this honor. Now, President Subianto was accorded a warm welcome on his arrival in New Delhi. Now, today he will be meeting India's External Affairs Minister. On Saturday, he will be hosted at the Hyderabad House, where he and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will review bilateral ties and discuss regional issues. Now, both sides are expected to sign several agreements and explore cooperation in defense and trade. Ahead of his visit, the Indonesian president said he hoped to strengthen strategic cooperation with India in areas such as security, maritime and digital technology development. Now, on Sunday, Subianto will attend India's Republic Day celebrations in a remarkable display of friendship and cooperation between the two nations. And this year, the Republic Day parade in the national capital will feature a 352-member marching and band contingent from Indonesia. The Indonesian president will also be hosted by Indian President Draupadi Murmu, who will be hosting a reception in his honor before his departure. Now, just before his arrival in India, pollsters claim that President Subianto enjoyed a high approval rating in Indonesia. And according to a survey conducted by the research unit of newspaper Kompas, from January 4th to 10th, 80.9% of the 1,000 respondents said that they were satisfied with Subianto's performance, citing his people-oriented leadership and progress on campaign platforms. And for more on this, our assistant editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, is joining us from Delhi. Siddhant, thank you for joining us. Now, tell us about Subianto's itinerary and, of course, about the significance and what we expect from the meeting between Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Subianto.
Well, Saturday is the main day of engagement of the Indonesian president here in Delhi. He's already reached India. Now we know that focus during the talks will be on several things, whether it's connectivity, whether it is defense, food security, energy security or health security. In fact, Indonesia is facing a crisis in terms of getting manpower for their medical industry. They need more doctors, they need nurses. And this is one request that the Indonesian president is going to reiterate, because the matter also came up for discussion when both the Indian Prime Minister and the Indonesian President met on the sidelines of the Brazil G20 summit in November of last year. Now, of course, defense is something that is much talked about. The BrahMos deal is something that has seen conversations in the past, as recent as just December of last year, when the Indian Navy chief was in Indonesia. He met with the Indonesian Defense Minister, and the focus, of course, from the Indonesian side is transfer of technology. Will that happen? Nobody knows as of now, but we know that defense has been a part of conversation. But both countries are maritime neighbors. In fact, India's Indra Point in Andaman and Nicobar Islands is just approximately 200 to 300 kilometers away from the Aceh province, and there are talks for connectivity between the Andaman Islands and Aceh province. Of course, there are governance challenges in Aceh province which is delaying the process, but all in all, an important visit, fourth time that an Indonesian president is chief guest at India's Republic Day parade.
Absolutely. And you mentioned he's, of course, the fourth Indonesian president to receive the honor. Tell us more about how his leadership will look like in the bilateral ties between India and Indonesia. We know that he has great approval rating in Indonesia.
Well, essentially, let me first start with the Republic Day celebrations. He's the fourth leader. Previously, we know that in 2018, the Indonesian president, along with other ASEAN leaders, were present at India's Republic Day parade. In 2011, previously, Indonesian president was present. And in fact, the first time when India started the celebration of its Republic Day parade in 1950, the first president who was the chief guest was President Sukarno of Indonesia. Now, we know that when it comes to the current Indonesian leadership, he was earlier the defense minister of the country and had shown interest in BrahMos deal. He had visited in his capacity as a defense minister to India. Then thereafter, we know that he was in the presidential bid. He won the bid, and India had sent a special envoy, MOS ME Margarita. He had gone to Jakarta last year as special envoy of the Indian Prime Minister to represent the Indian government, and essentially the focus will be as to how both leaders can chart a new trajectory in the relationship, particularly when it comes to the Indian Ocean region and the Indo-Pacific. In fact, the Indonesian president's visit to India comes in his first 100-day period of governance, and this shows the importance Jakarta is giving to New Delhi.
All right, of course, Dan, we'll be looking forward to the bilateral meet and, of course, his appearance as the chief guest at Republic Day. But thank you so much for bringing us the latest.